kind of comfy. Everything looks pretty decent. You're like centered here. Usually you're over here, so it's a little weird. The kids are out there with Colin, so you're gonna hear them for sure in here. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for watching. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe so that you could stay up to date on all my latest content because it's good. It's just... Okay, so I said with my new series that I wanted to start off with something that I've been obsessed with. I would have loved to make a coffee because like if you're watching YouTube videos, make a coffee, sit down, get comfy, enjoy it, take time for yourself. I can't drink while I'm talking and I just don't want it to like sit there and melt. So this is my favorite thing for this week's video. It's called Risewell. It is a toothpaste company that I've been seeing all over Instagram. It's getting all of the hype. And now I finally know why, because you guys, I look forward to brushing my teeth. I have tried many different non-toxic toothpaste, many that have said that they're safe for your family, safe for you as an individual, safe for your kids, and they're not. This deserves all of the praise, all of the hype. This toothpaste is a mineral toothpaste. At Risewell, we believe that small improvements to daily habits lead to meaningful change. Amen. Why not start with the first thing that you do in the morning? Our goal is to give you a toothpaste that is effective as chemical toothpaste, but not with the toxins. So instead of simply eliminating these chemicals, we found replacements that are not only natural, but completely safe and also incredibly effective. And they are not kidding. I was using an coconut oil based one before. Colin hated it. He's like, Ash, like I'm all for all of these changes, but like this is one thing I'm not for. This is so good. I've never been like a really big mouthwash girl, but now I am. And this duo is just so good. I cannot get my hands on any of their kids' toothpaste yet because it's been out of stock for the longest time. I'm hoping that it's in stock soon because I'm going to stock up. I think it's like cake batter or birthday cake flavored for the kids, but this is so good, you guys. Today's topic is homeschooling. I feel like there's not a topic in the world right now in 2021 that's not controversial, because I don't know, everything's controversial. Like it's just like we're constantly feeling we need to defend ourselves or we can't be our true authentic selves. And I think that homeschooling is becoming a lot more normalized and very popular. Many people had to do it in 2020 and 2021 due to schools being closed down. This is a true calling. I'm doing this video for people that feel like they have some little bit of calling in them too, and they want to know that they're not alone. We all as individuals know what is best for ourselves and what is best for our family, and nobody else can tell us that. And I feel so sorry for the people that feel like they can't step in and live into their truth because they're so worried about the people, you know, who some people have really good intentions with, you know, with their disagreements on how you're living your life or choices that you make, and some people are just shitty. Sorry. Okay, so I wanted to showcase this book because this book has changed my life. Even if you're not interested in homeschooling, if you want to have a child one day, if you have nieces and nephews, if you are a nanny, if you are a grandmother, if you like are an aunt and like an uncle, whatever, if you like, this is a must-have book. You can skip certain parts that maybe are, if you're extremely thrown off by homeschooling, but this is literally the Call to the Wild and Free, and her name is Ainsley. She is the founder of Wild and Free, and they have conferences. They have a group you can join that gives you inspiration ideas. They have a wonderful podcast on Apple or on iTunes. They have not posted in a while, but they talk all things, and it's just so beautiful, and I just feel like complete. Like I just feel so called to this, and I'm so grateful that I found this book, this woman, and this whole world, this just whole unraveling world. So the Call to the Wild and Free, Reclaiming Wonder in Your Child's Education. And I think that it's important for anybody and everybody to get their hands on this book and to read it, because there's such a problem in this day and age, and there has been for many years, but it just seems to be getting worse. I just want to read this little inside of the book, I don't even know what this would be called, just a little script. There's a growing movement of parents who are out to save childhood. Where our culture tells kids to achieve more, these mothers whisper, slow down. Where schools push for performance through standardized testing, these parents whisper, chase wonder. Where entertainment beckons kids to screens, the rivers and the forests whisper, come be wild and free. You guys, I'm gonna cry. I'm getting the Holy Spirit running through me. I wrote some notes here because I could just go on and on and on and on and on. And this is one of many homeschooling videos. So if this is a topic you're interested in, or you're just curious, get ready, because you're getting all the content along with everything else going on in my life that's important to me. But they're reclaiming wonder in your child's education. Kids and that have now turned into adults have never been more stressed out. Ever. Have never been more confused about who they are, what their purpose is, what their life should look like, because we're chasing the wrong things. And this is just me speaking like genuinely from my heart, there's no way to escape all of that. Like, there has to be a reality. So homeschooling is not sheltering your child from the real world. Oh, get them out there, they have to see it anyways. It's raising children that can be, I have that all in here, but raising children that can be comfortable and confident without a world telling them who they need to be. And that's our job as a mother and a father, to give and provide and protect that for our children, because it's not protected. It is not sacred anymore. And it is something that I am so passionate about that I'm willing to sacrifice it all, for a chance at a beautiful life. I'm not perfect. I'm not an expert, but I am perfect to my children, and I am an expert in raising my children because they're mine. And I was meant to be their mom. God gave me those two and however many, more children, because there was nobody more qualified to be their mom. And I'm saying that because that's what I want to say to you. Like, on your toughest days, whether you decide to homeschool or whether your kids go to private or public or Catholic or whatever it is that you decide to do, there is no teacher, there is no doctor, there is no professional that knows what you know to be true in your heart. Nobody. And I just want to remind you that, because I need that reminder all of the time. And this is that reminder. Like, this is just, it is so beautiful, and it's so beautifully written and broken down, and I just feel like my jaw just continued to drop. The photos in the book are so beautiful, just of nature. And one of the biggest reasons why we moved here was the weather and the sun shining every day, and having a chance to get outside. And my life is just completely different than it was. But I want to share this with you. And so even if it is not something that you are interested in, homeschooling, maybe you're on the fence, maybe you want to learn how to enjoy it more and to let go of the expectations of the world and different styles of homeschooling, this is for you. And if you have children in general, and they are going to school for 8 hours a day, and then they're going to practices, and then they have to maintain friendships, and they have to be on social media, and they have to take cute pictures to be liked, and then they're defined by grades, and they have to make this sports team, and they have to be in that sorority and get in that college, and all of these things that we're overwhelming our children with. Even if homeschooling is not for you, I think that it's our duty to protect our children's energy. And I think that not subjecting them to this system that has been made that we think like is the only choice or it's the best choice, is just untrue. And So this is broken. This book is broken down into 4 different sections. One is the mission, one is the myth, one is the manner, and one is the method. And you know, she starts off really strong on the first chapter about sending her son off to kindergarten, and how she just like overnight saw the light go out in his eyes, and his passion for life and his creativity. And you know, you're just in the public school system, you're just institutionalized to just, there's one curriculum, one size fits all, everybody learns the same way. You don't have the opportunity to, you know, learn at your own pace. You're defined by a grade. You're busy. You're sitting at a desk. Do we really believe that we're supposed to be sitting in a room and a desk looking? I remember sitting in public school and just looking outside of the window and just waiting to get out. Waking up early when we're exhausted and get ready. And then our parents are stressed out and we're stressed out, and they're going to a job that they hate and that they don't feel is their calling. And I'm not saying that this is everybody's story. This is certainly not everybody's story. But if it's speaking to you, it's definitely a sign to get this book and read it. And maybe you don't have a choice. And none of this is about shaming. This is all about knowing that you have options and you can listen to the call. So the first one is, I just want to name these because they speak for themselves. So the light went out in his eyes, reclaiming motherhood, the call to homeschooling, preparing for your journey, and then becoming wild and free. So those are the missions. The myths, I feel like everybody says the myths are the biggest realization for them, but I don't really care. Like, of course it's uncomfortable a little bit when people are like, well, isn't he going to be weird? Aren't your kids going to be weird? They're not going to be socialized, or like all of these myths that hold people back, or that people don't even understand because they don't take the time. They're not passionate about it and they don't take the time to educate themselves. Me too. I went into this not even caring about the socialism. Like, my kid's going to be so weird if he's not in public school. When it's like, I look at the people that I knew in school, and I look at the kids that I see on this day and age, or the kids that I see on the playground, and honestly, I don't want my children to be socialized around them. I give teachers so much credit. They're such beautiful human beings, but unfortunately, they aren't able to say what they're going to teach and how they're going to learn. The only thing that they can do is their best with what they have. So many people on the podcast used to be teachers and left. You know, I remember listening to one podcast with one of the teachers. She started to cry on the podcast because she's like, I remember going to my principal and asking him for 1 hour a day to do art, and he said there's just not enough time. You know, it's like I hear these stories about kindergarten being like college ready, and I can't remember. I wanted to write it down, but I didn't. There is, I want to say Finland or something. They don't start kindergarten until they're like 7. I want to say 6 or 7. I know reading as well, because kids need to be learning and be freely playing, and room to be creative. And then we send them to these schools, and we just suck the life out of them. And we're like it's like an assembly line, you know. Kids are meant to be outside. Kids are meant to be exploring and learning from each other from all different ages, not just one age group. That's not socialization. We don't socialize with our peers when they're on the same level from us. We learn how to socialize from what our life is like at home. We learn how to socialize by playing. We learn how to socialize by being around all different groups of ages, our siblings, our parents, our aunts, our uncles, our cousins. That's how we learn how to socialize, from people that know more than us. So that is the breakdown of the mission. The first chapter is just so beautiful. She talks about the loss of childhood, and then she just goes on to speak about creating it. There's some really good statistics about children that are homeschooled and how they are often ahead of certain children that are in public school, even though they start earlier and they stick to a certain curriculum. Where homeschooling, there's a section in here about different types of homeschooling that you can adapt to. Chapter 13, the influences of homeschooling. It's about freeing our children to learn in their own way, at their own pace, within the most natural conditions. I have taken a highlighter to I didn't have a highlighter, I think the first page, you can obviously tell. It talks about the power of reading to our children. I never read to Mannix when he was growing up. I never did, because I was so exhausted and I was so obsessed with building my business so I could build a future and I could take him on vacations later on in life, and I just was too tired. And now all we do is read every single day. We've read Magic Tree House, the book #1, 4 times already. And I'm gonna definitely share books that I love with you guys too on here. It is an enlightened choice for parents who desire a slow, more intentional way for their child to thrive as lifelong passionate learners. We're always learning. We're always learning every single thing that we do, whether we're in the kitchen or we're doing laundry or we're out at Target buying toilet paper and being kind to people and smiling and saying hello. We're always learning, and every single opportunity that we have each day to live is an opportunity to learn. Children come alive by being outdoors. It awakens their mind, centers their heart, and gives them depth of soul. It is not abandonment of academic work, but rather to help it. Nature is where children learn to learn. Real play happens in forests, streams, meadow, and on sandy shores, not in designated play areas. Inspiring places filled with real adventure, interesting wildlife, and a chance of danger. In nature, they learn something that they could never be taught in a classroom. They learn how to live. I mean, I could just go on and on and on and on and on with this book. It's just so incredibly beautifully written, and it just has changed the way that I not only view life, but that I view my children. Let's remember that learning is not a system, a methodology, or a checklist to get things done. It is an organic process that occurs when the conditions are right. Our role is to guide and architect, creating an environment in which our children can not only grow but to thrive. Some of the really big things in here as for myths are that you're not qualified. It's so difficult to explain because it just depends on what people value. And so if you value a diploma and you think that that is going to define who a human being is. I remember in college I was struggling really bad. I went for a year and a half to John Carroll University, and I went to my guidance counselor and I'm like, I'm struggling really bad. And he's like, listen, the best teachers are not A students. The best teachers are C, because they can understand what it is like to struggle, right? And I think it just comes down to on what your values are and your morals. So this whole part is, I'm trying to find the best way to describe these things to you, because when something is written on your heart, it's so difficult to explain, especially when you never want to shame or offend anybody, because I never want anybody to shame or offend me for the choices that I'm making in my life. And so myths are the objections to homeschooling, the socialization myth, which I touched a little bit on that. The qualification myth, I touched a little bit on that. We're not recreating the classroom in our homes. Some people do. What our family values are in our relationships with our children and our children's relationships with us and with their siblings. You know, we think about it, it's like you leave the house. I know some people here at our apartment, they leave the house at 6 in the morning. They don't get home till 9 at night with their children, with their teenagers and with their children. They're working all day to survive, and we're not spending time in our homes, in which we should cherish, with our loved ones. And so it's like we've created this culture of hustle and bustle, and it's just gotten to the point where it's just really stressful and exhausting, and we're missing out on the key points of life. Another one is the learning myth, the rigor myth, and then the college myth. So she provides some really good statistics in there and really good peace of mind for people that are fearful of those things. Or maybe, I think one of the biggest things people talk about is like, how do I answer this person when they say this to me? And it's like, it's so sad that we have to deal with that nowadays, but you just answer it with love. Like, this is just really what's, you know, working for our family. This is really just the best thing for us. And if you want to learn a little bit more about it, I can definitely talk to you if you want to like hear the breakdown. But we never should feel the need to defend ourselves. The manner, so discovering your homeschool style, the influences of homeschooling, finding your own rhythm, and creating a family culture. I know that slow mornings and slow living has been something that I'm just craving so badly now in my life, and that's something that we really do on a day-to-day basis and that we've been practicing, and I could never imagine any other way. And then the method, the wild and free way, and then she talks about the school of nature, reading, play, curiosity, and the magic of wonder. On the back she says, we believe that childhood is a time to foster wonder, creativity, and discovery through play and exploration. We believe that children learn because they want to, not because they're forced to. We believe in letting them learn at their own pace. We believe in giving children an abundance of opportunities, time, and access to beauty like art, music, literature, nature, and their own imaginations. We believe that this path isn't just for childhood, but a lifetime of pursuing their own interests, responding to life, not bells in a building, a life based on purpose and not perfection. We are the misfits, the renegades, and the square pegs in round holes. We are not alone. We have each other, and we are in this together. This book, you guys, I cannot. Run, don't walk. Get yourself this book. Change your life. Change the way that you view your life. And protect your children's innocence and their imagination and the way that they grow up and the way that they view themselves. Even if you're not interested in homeschooling, there's certain parts you can skip, but there's such a good chunk of this book that I think every single mother, even if you don't have a child, if you have a motherly impact on somebody, this is for you. I just want to talk about a couple of little notes that I wrote because I get carried away with just talking. Down below I'm going to provide 2 different resources. I will link the Apple Podcast to Wild and Free, or you can just go on Apple Podcasts and search Wild and Free. They haven't uploaded in a while, but you can go all the way back to 2017 and listen to us. And then I will also include a couple videos that really gave me a peace of mind that I think that everybody should watch. Like I said, whether you're interested in homeschooling or whether you want to be more involved in what your child's education looks like. So I'm going to put those down below. What else was I going to say? So these are just a couple things that I wrote down on here. Homeschooling gives you more freedom, more flexibility for slow living, building our own life and our dreams instead of being told what it needs to look like, which that needs to happen way more, right? We were like told who we needed to be, what we needed to do, and what it needed to look like. And there's no room for understanding who we truly are at our core if we're being told by a bunch of people that don't even know us, right? Like, one size fits all. You know, if we love and we're passionate about a certain subject, no, we're done with that in 30 minutes. We're done, close your book, on to the next thing. Have less social pressure from teachers and other children. Kids can be free from others and from others' standards. We get to live fully and build confidence in who they are. They don't have the social pressures of fitting in, what they're wearing, what they're into, saying the right thing, doing the right thing, and they can have confidence in themselves as individuals. Less distraction and ridicule. As adults, we wouldn't thrive in toxic environments. And for me personally, you know, my husband and I both went to public schools. A lot of it is very toxic. Social media is very toxic. And, you know, we are constantly telling each other to remove ourselves from situations that are toxic. And it's like, we can't always, and I'm not saying it's all negative. It's not all negative. I've had some of the most beautiful relationships with teachers that have changed my life. And that is really, this is just my extra notebook. That is really just the most important part of all of this is, and you don't have to agree with all of this. You can, you know, you can form your own opinion on what you want your child's life to look like and what it will look like, and just know that following your heart is what is the most important thing. So Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Get out there, get on Amazon and get yourself this book. It will change your life. It will change the way that you look at your life, your future, your present. There's so much living to do out there, you guys, and this book is just, you know, I find myself wanting to be a good mother, and I just realize like I'm reclaiming not only motherhood but myself. I'm learning so much from this, and it's just another opportunity for me to be a child again. And so that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.